I thought you were back. We were back. That is why you belong here.
One of my favorite things about the Spider-Man games is I feel like more than any other type of experience with these superhero stories, you really get to know Peter and Miles and the main characters on a level where like they're people, you know, and you're seeing their living spaces, you're seeing their daily lives. Is that something we can also expect from Wolverine? And also, how did that approach change when you were developing this project?
Well, you can 100% expect that, but of course it's a very Logan-specific experience because unlike Spider-Man, where there are two very separate sides, the superhero side and the human side, in Logan they're the same thing, and so he brings sort of his personal life with him wherever he goes, which is sort of kind of all over the place as he searches for himself and his past.
Right.
A lot of baggage. Yeah, no, it's I really like that you get a very different feeling to what you get to Spider-Man. Like, you know, you're not going to see Logan at school, which would be fun. Yeah, but that's really well said. He's carrying all the parts of him. He doesn't hide, like, you know, yeah, he dresses up and things like that. He goes into the suits and things like that, but he's him everywhere he goes. His different sides are within him. It's not so much like I'm in this environment, I'm in that environment. He's like, I'm in this feeling, I'm in that feeling. I'm in control, I'm out of control, and stuff like that. So you get to experience more how the world reacts to him in some ways.
Yeah. Yes. Well, what we said on the panel, like he would rather just be in the forest with whittling,
he would love a whittle,
whittling, and then, looking at squirrels. But the fact is, you get to go to Canada, you get to go to Talonbang, you get to go to Japan, you get to go to Madripoor in this game. So like, he's not just looking at squirrels and whittling.
So, getting those air miles up is what he getting.
Yeah. I mean, duty weighs on him. Like, this is a guy who can. He's the only person who can do the things that he does and take the damage that he can and survive it. But also, he's the only one who's willing to do the things necessary to keep other people alive and protect them. And he can't just like walk away from that. He carries the weight and the blood of all of that with him.
Well, and personal cost for all of it. Like, you know, he doesn't want to do the things he does.
Yeah,
it weighs on him, but he's the best there is at what he does.
Well, I mean, but the second half of that, but what he does isn't very nice. Like, that's not just like a fun statement. Like, that's his view of himself. Like, this is a man who he has a hard time liking himself because of what he believes he has to be.
I like this story in
I love he's like 5 questions.
One question. No, I was just saying, it's like, I like that at least in the marketing that we've got, it's like, I ain't no hero, I'm Wolverine. Because I really think that represents where he starts. Yeah. And it's sort of when he meets Jean Grey and things like that, that we get to discover whether or not there is a hero that he can believe in inside him.
The interesting thing, and we talked about this internally a little bit, is like he kind of explores what he does isn't very nice, very, very personally in this game. Right. And so like that aspect of it, traditionally Logan doesn't get that introspective. Like it's sort of what he's gone through, but everything the team did and that made that happen.
By the way, I'm sorry, I haven't listened to a word anybody said because all I can think about is Wolverine in high school, and I was like scenarios.
I was doing.
Hey Logan, my locker's stuck again. Come on.
In the same way, I was like, he said duty.
Every time. Every
I'm telling you, he's a pianist. He plays the piano.
Okay. Well, to go back to what's weighing on these characters, this is more than any other story of X-Men, which is already about the survival of these characters that are stigmatized and going through something very isolating. There is no X-Men in this universe yet, and this is a story about their survival as a team. And I just wanted to ask, like, when you guys had this opportunity to formulate this new take on the material and stuff like that, what were you excited to dig into? Was there something? What message would you guys like to come back to, I guess, when you were developing the story?
we were all excited to tell a Wolverine story.
Right. Yeah. That worked out great.
Yeah.
I was excited to explore the part of Logan that is like, he always gets up. He always finds a reason to get up because he feels every time the claws come out, he feels it every time. He's a very relatable character in that he feels so much. The pain, all this stuff that he goes through, it hurts. And yet, he finds something within him to keep fighting for. I just really loved the chance to explore that. It was great.
During the game, just real quick, so Logan can't remember a lot of his past. He has all these mysteries in his past, and through our game, the player gets to uncover that as they're playing. So as Logan's learning things, the player's learning those things as well. Love that part.
To continue into leaving Krizia your individual questions, we love obviously. So Logan and Gene are like these awesome characters that you guys get to embody and have your own stamps on. There's so much to pull from. There's all those cartoons, and then there's live action iterations. I wanted to know what inspirations did you guys have going into these roles, and how did you guys try to make them your own as well? Also, is there anything outside of just portrayals of Gene or Logan that you guys want to pull from an acting perspective? I guess.
Oh, I love that. As an actor, what is the process? Yeah, look, there's a lot out there, and there are some fantastic actresses who have held this character, very gently and beautifully in their hands. So it was really hard for me to not fall into, oh gosh, but they did such a fantastic job. How am I going to be able to top that? And they all assured me this is going to be my version, the way that I kind of come in, and breathe life through her. And so that gave me a lot of freedom, but also through that, there was, we were doing this for 4 years. So acting inspiration, to be totally frank, was so much of life was happening. And it was cathartic and also really, I didn't expect for it to happen, but there were so many moments that real life actually did infuse into the day. And what I love about this team and what they encourage us to do is let's just see what happens when you fully embody. And so I didn't feel any guardrails. I didn't feel like I was overstepping. I went as far as I could and let them say, okay, this is what we need to bring back. I never heard those words, but I just went as far as I could go because of what instinctually I was feeling, and also just life experience and what was going on in the moment, where I was like, you know what, this is my opportunity to really take these feelings and manifest it in this beautiful character, so gorgeously written and taken care of by this team. And it's beyond my wildest dreams that I get to, as an actor, be doing this. So I did not take that lightly or for granted.
I feel the same way. It's funny how life, I get this job, and I got so many things placed in front of me around that time that gave me so much fuel for a person who had great darkness and great light within him. I had a daughter, I lost my dad, all this crazy stuff. It challenged me in ways I hadn't been challenged as an actor. I found myself looking up like rabid dogs and trying to figure out when he goes feral, what does that look like? What does that feel like? And exploring that. But so a lot of it was how can I take this incredible writing, which truly I haven't got to perform stuff like this almost ever, and infuse it with, learn from, I started with a Cal Dodd with the animated series. That was the voice in my head forever, and that was when I fell in love with Wolverine. Obviously Steve Blum's incredible, and Hugh. I remember when I watched Logan and was like, he's so great. I love this movie so much. He's done now. I'd hate to follow that guy. And I'm like, cool. But for a generation, that's Wolverine. So I learned when I did Spartacus that I don't want to try and copy people because I don't want to do a bad impression. I want to take all the lessons that they teach me from these incredible versions of the character that they embody, and how can I find the essence of that character through what I do and through my experiences, like these different things I talked about. So I guess we find out September 15 how I did.
We do. And I just want to add to that also, being able to be in that position, just take the compliment, don't say anything.
I won't.
Having him to act off of, this is one of the most phenomenal actors I've been alongside, and so it felt incredibly freeing, and just I was free falling. I felt like I was protected and safe, and to go as far as he went and to be alongside of him through all of this, I was like, are you kidding me? This is the person that I get to act next to for these 4 years. So I only got better because of him. I only got as far as I could go because of him. So you're phenomenal, and I really mean that. It was an absolute dream.
The pleasure was mine. That was a true gift. Thank you.
Take the compliment.
I just hope you're prepared to have people call you Bub from now on.
What a joy! Could a 12-year-old want anything else in this little guy here?
I read about Liam. Actually, read about the Entertainment Weekly article about you researching rabid dogs.
Yeah.
I was actually about to ask about that, but also, how did you take that experience into? And you guys described it as the bubble when you guys are doing your motion capture. I wanted to ask, like, what is something unexpected about motion capture that you think the audience wouldn't know or wouldn't perceive something about it?
Just how easy it is to ruin it by just moving your head too quickly. That's the end of that take. Start again.
Yeah. Or
no.
scratching your chin or your cheek at the wrong
my God! If
moment,
someone was
and
like,
then there's the take.
yeah, you'd just be like, "Hi, I ruined
you
it." Okay,
ruined it.
got my hand away.
Yep.
No, I think people might underappreciate how important our stunt team is. I think, like, a lot of what makes Spider-Man so special is obviously incredible performances, but complemented so strongly by a stunt team. Like, they're almost always there. Like, there's so much action in this, especially, and the way that they would work with us and improve everything we do. Like, you know, Seth Austin's like one of my main stunt double. He's just an incredible guy. And his movement and like the way that, you know, he taught me so much about what Wolverine can feel like, the viscerality of that. You're like, that's a word, I don't know if it's a word.
It's a word.
Gotta make with it.
Sounded great.
And you know, and there's a whole team of guys out there, Tyler and Amy and all kinds of people, that are doing excellent work every day. And I think, you know, we've just moved from like guys doing voices for characters, and they also do the performances now. That's cool. But I think it's easy to forget how much it takes a village. Like, I'm just dots on a screen until, you know, Brian Weiser and his team realize that. And what's cool is really seeing the progression from what we do on the stage to, like, now it's in the game engine, and now it's better. And then you're like, oh, you fixed it. And they're like, no, there's way more little details to go. How was your experience on the stage? Like, did you find anything crazy?
No, nothing at all.
No?
No, I did.
It's just me. I'm not great at this.
Actually, I'm excited to talk about this because we just saw it in the trailer, so I feel like I'm allowed. The
just gonna put the
moment.
claws on.
Well, actually, it is a claw moment when he's
Oh.
just like right up on
Right.
next to me.
How you doing?
Dude, that day I almost pissed myself, and I was like, oh my God! Truly, he came with this crazy. I mean, his eyes, the way he came at me, I was like, what? That might need to be edited. But you know, the way that when he went fair like that, like how we saw in the trailer, I was in the moment. It happened. He was really there. I know we have the dots and we have the suit and we have the camera in our faces. But at that moment, all of that went away. And I just was looking as I was like, so all that was very real.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you gonna kill me or what's happening?
Talk about trust falls, and
That was.
No, for me, I was just like, well, we're gonna do this thing. Either everybody's gonna laugh really hard, or maybe it'll work. So let's try. And happily, I scared the crap out of
To
everybody.
fail fearlessly like that and to be able to go that far, not a lot of people are capable of doing it. And so, and to be on the receiving end of that and just to see that, like, holy cow, that was.
I'm sorry.
That was magical. That's okay. No, don't apologize. It was great.
I'm
and
Canadian,
it looks
remember? So I'm
amazing.
sorry.
Oh, that's right. That's
We
okay.
were so immersed in you guys were just wearing like these dots and
That's the thing. Okay, so I want to mention that.
Please.
I'm around theater actors and movie actors and whatnot all the time where your performance is dictated by you're wearing a costume and the people across you are wearing the costumes and can see each other and there's tangible. They're in a white room surrounded by crew covered in dots, makeup artists coming and refreshing, a GoPro camera stuck on the front, and have to do the T-pose or the whatever.
The Z-pose now.
Z-pose
We've
now.
updated it.
Yeah, we've updated
It's the
it.
future now.
Before and after every scene. And they'll just be talking to each other like no big deal, and then action, and they're in the moment and raw and able to emote just this part of their face seeing each other. It's witchcraft as far as I'm concerned.
Marcus,
It's
I think the
amazing.
other anecdote, but you tell me if this is correct. Krizia, you're shorter than Liam in real life. Logan's a short dude, as we know. We had to get that right.
A short king.
So we had to come back. All of the shots are you looking up at Liam, but then when it comes back and we bring it into the game, we had to adjust all the sight lines.
And then
Because
there's
actually,
Sabretooth.
Yeah.
oh, and Sabretooth.
For the second two, I was like,
He's the
hey,
tall one.
what's
That
up?
one wasn't so hard.
And then
Brett's
you're
already
He's
big.
already a big guy. But
And,
between you
Bloody
guys
Bread.
with the sight
Yeah.
lines, that had to be adjusted quite a bit when it came back.
I was like,
to the
don't you just
game.
have like
And
a
at the
toggle
big-
where you just like whoop?
Yeah.
There's no knob.
No, I just assumed there would be. I'm sorry
Easy
about that.
button.
Although at the beginning
Yeah,
it was,
done.
I remember one of our first scenes, it was like, so do your scene just looking at his chest because that's how we have to, and I was like, oh, I don't know if we, and we did like maybe 2 of those, and we,
I was like, I'm done
I
with
don't
that.
think we can
Well, I
do
had
this.
Brett was just like crotch, just screaming at crotch, and I'm like, I don't love this.
He says that to everybody.
Yeah, he didn't even need to do it. He just did it. He just chose an acting choice. No.
Well, I appreciate the effort. I'm also a short person.
Short
Representation
kings,
matters.
Yes, yes.
I just want to move on to some more game mechanical questions as well.
Oh, shut up.
You can input it as much as you want. Well, it's been mentioned that there are less gory paths that are available in this game for people that are more sensitive to that sort of thing. I'm just curious about that choice, and can you expand on how that feature works in the game, and why was that something that was a motivation for you guys, I guess?
Yeah, for sure. So to sort of like establish the baseline, we knew that we would have to lean into sort of the nature of this character to make the game really authentic. So from the beginning, violence was a big part of it, and we wanted to sort of deliver that with the same sort of like grounded nature in the rest of the universe that we portray. So knowing that that was a part of it and that it was going to be a very mature game, we developed accessibility features where throughout the entire experience, you can lower the violence level just to make it, I guess, palatable to a broader audience. So to get specific, you can individually turn off dynamic blood. You can disable dismemberment, which gets censored in the cutscenes. And we actually have a new accessibility feature where we censor out bad language as well. So all of those can be turned on and off from the settings for any player, really at any point in your playthrough.
Stress that you can absolutely leave them on.
That's right.
Don't worry about it. You can totally leave them on.
I do want to say the profanity filter is English only, though.
Oh, okay. It's your own free will. So.
This is good. This is good for me because the trailer came out. I wanted to show my son, who was 6 years old, and I spent a lot of time doing an edit to try and be like, take the blood out of that scene, stop that scene. I gave him like a 5-second, like, Daddy's in this. Never mind. Still got scared. So I'm happy. That
It's a weird thing to like have young kids, and with how long we've worked on this project, for those kids to be around and be like, I can't wait to see it, and be like,
Not for you. Yeah, I was like, you don't need to know how many ways your dad can get impaled by a thing.
That's right. Give him 10 more years. Man.
Years of therapy.
Maybe let's just never do this.
Well, I'm so happy. Like, I mean, in previous Insomniac games, that's something that you guys also very much championed was accessibility options.
The best.
And it's great that you guys have such a dedication to, believing that every player should be able to have their own experience in the way that they need to experience it the way they should. I actually was interested in talking about game over screens and the healing factor. That's something that Wolverine has his characteristic in this game. It's been a contention, I guess. Like, I guess people have been talking about, like, how does the healing factor work from a gameplay mechanic perspective, and like what does that look like with the game over, or like in a mechanical perspective. Can you guys talk a bit about that? I guess, or
Yeah, sure. So Logan's healing factor has kind of taken on different forms over the years, and in one of my favorite Wolverine stories, he really does go to the brink of death like several times. And so in order to build a Logan that could feel vulnerable physically and make a great game, where we ended up was, if Logan's damage overloads his healing factor and his heart stops, then his healing factor stops. And so he can die. He's not the eternally invincible character that he is in some depictions. So that's something you always have to watch out for as a player. And in order to make the healing factor sort of a prominent element of your strategy in battle, what we did was, if you have a pool of rage built up, then that adrenaline can reboot his heart and keep you going even when your healing factor is overloaded. And so that's a mechanic that makes his healing factor important, but also encourages aggressive play, so that the whole time you feel like you're always pushing forward and fighting for rage. And in that way, you sort of embody the Wolverine tactics.
So we're moving from something that's more open world to more something. I'm guessing what we know is that it's a more linear game. I guess if you want to talk about that, or the structure of the game, what people can expect transitioning from Spider-Man to Wolverine.
Yeah, so for each of our games, we look at what is the best kind of story to reflect this kind of character. And so for Spider-Man, he is a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man who's a crime fighter and has a home base. He loves New York City and he protects it. When we look at sort of the classic Logan stories, he is a character who gets pulled around by the situation around him. Like, he's always getting in trouble and he hops across the globe. And so to us, that meant sort of a roller coaster narrative that takes you to a bunch of different locations was the right fit for him. So as far as what to expect if you're used to Spider-Man, Spider-Man also has a lot of handcrafted narrative missions. If you think of the set-piece encounters where you're in sort of a new, different location and there's like some high-intensity story events going on, think of Wolverine as a lot of those chained together, but then we sort of like mix up the pace from adventure to adventure and kind of change the style of navigation to fit the environments better. So you'll get a different vibe whether you're in downtown Tokyo or the Canadian wilderness.
Yeah, canonically, Wolverine's a bit of a wanderer. So like the sense that he's restless and wandering and going from location to location because, as we talked about earlier, he's super mission driven, right? Like he's set out onto a mission, he has to go do that mission, finish that mission, come back, think about that mission, and then see how that, if it was the right choice, and then goes forward together.
No, I was just going to say, for me, like, being the character he's a man of action, you know, he is a doer. And it would be often on the set, you know, there'd be a section where you're like, he's not doing something now.
Yeah.
He should be doing something. He wouldn't just sit back and be like, let's figure this out. He just gets it done. And like it very much is, and it feels right for this Wolverine, and I think Wolverine, and the way that they've built the story, at least when I've played it, is it feels that experience expectation. Like, he's a man of action, and you are always in action, pretty much, you know, and it feels right for what we're trying to tell.
And while it's a story-driven adventure, there are sections where you can go off the beaten path, and we have optional content for people to explore, like different collectibles, find out more about the narrative. There's some cool stuff to find. We have nightmare doors, which are manifestations of Logan's mind and the bad things happening in them. So we have a bunch of optional challenges to play as well.
That's for me. I'm that type of player.
Excellent.
Yeah. But getting back to your question, I mean, Spider-Man is a perfect open world game because he swings on webs, and he's known as being New York. And so we're going to a lot of different places, but also Logan is grounded. Logan is in the dirt. So we brought everything much more intimate. He's not a guy who has gadgets. He's a guy who's got a 500-pound adamantium skeleton. He's down on the ground in the grit, and that means everything comes in much tighter.
Which I like.
Just bear with me on my last two questions.
No worries.
So you guys got to show off that awesome Wolverine Tokon alternate suit that you guys had today, and I was just wondering, like, you guys talked about, you know, like making sure that the history of Wolverine was represented in all the costumes. What would do you guys have any like wish list ones? If you can talk about them, I'm sure you don't want to spoil it so much, but and also how would players be unlocking them throughout the game, I guess?
So as far as how they're unlocked, basically as you go through the story, we'll make suits available for crafting in waves. And in order to craft a suit, you scavenge materials from the opponents that you're fighting. So if you find a cache of Reaver armor, you can collect some of that. It contributes towards a suit. Now, as far as suits that we love in the game, you know, I'll start with my personal favorite, which is the stealth suit. It was inspired by the 1982 Chris Claremont and Frank Miller Wolverine standalone miniseries, and it's for that reason that I love it. The first time I saw that suit in the comics, you know, so I had this like yellow character image in my mind, and it just sort of showed me a different side of him, which lined up really nicely with everything else that happened in that comic to really deepen the character.
And how we start with the suit list is our directors, Grant Hollis, Gavin Golan, will come up with like just grab images off the internet, like I like this, and then come to us at Marvel, and they're like, okay, we like these ones too, and then eventually that list has to be whittled down to what you can actually make in the time that you have to make it, and then eventually like other suits can come in. Like me personally, I love what Insomniac was able to create with the Battle Reborn suit. It's just a unique, original take, and very Insomniac and very Earth 1048. But we also got to work with some Marvel artists to work for our DDE suits. So Adam Kubert did a suit called the Savage suit, which is incredible, just really unique. And then Ivan Kaelo did another suit called Night Hunt, which is awesome because it's like a blue and black suit and it works really well, stealthy. So like, there's a lot of them. I think we all have favorites.
Yeah, I can't say my one. It's so sick though.
Yeah, the ones on my wish list got into the game, so I can.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
We'll circle back once the game.
He's right about the
back.
Battle Reborn suit. Like I messaged one of our art directors because we were talking about suits, and he was asking me which ones I liked. I had to tell him, I was like, honestly, man, I usually unlock all the suits in our games, but I kind of like what you did on this one so much. I'm not playing with the others because this is just, it's a gorgeous suit.
It is that, but I got one that's up. I can't watch it. Get this suit out. Oh my god.
Well, I'm excited to see. Lastly, this is just kind of like a fun question for you guys. If Insomniac got a blank check for like the
Yes,
next,
please.
for like
Accept
the
it.
next Marvel project, or is there any character that's like you would love to work on, or you have?
Oh, yeah.
Wolverine.
Yeah. Well, that, I mean, I certainly want that because I get to work more. That'd
Yeah,
be
that's
cool.
true.
Wolverine was a dream come true. I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
I think all of us grew up with him and like the character and mutants and that sort of thing. So, I know Insomniac can do whatever. They're awesome. But I think just delivering on this game has been amazing.
Plus, they're not going to let me do a direct adaptation of the Howard the Duck movie.
No, that's not gonna. Sorry, buddy.
You sure about that? Well, never say never. Never say never.
Coming, yeah.
That's
Make it
true.
comic.
Lay the seeds.
I don't know where it happened. I want to see Cable do some stuff at some point. I just
Oh.
think he's a cool character. Just I don't know where or how, but
Okay.
it's something I like.
Awesome. Anybody else have any answers before we wrap up? Or?
You're like absolutely not.
Ah.
Like we're trying to make one game,
Close
guys.
to the chest.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can say stuff because I don't know what's going on. So it's great.